Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And we're here at Mount Panorama with the Bentley Continental GT3 car. And I had a request just for a little bit of help with trying, just on the lap time, just trying to see, to try to help improve their lap time. So I'm going to try to be as quick as I can. It'll be a quick video. I do have the setup for this at the end, which is a revised setup, and I dropped probably, I don't know, a half a second to 3/4 of a second off my time, off of what I had before. And it feels, man, this thing feels pretty much rock solid. So it's super stable. So I think it's overall, it's a really good package. So I'll go over that, like I said, at the end, but I want to go over more of going over the track, and then we'll go over the setup at the end. So let's jump behind the car. And let's get this going because it's going to take a little longer, so bear with me. Of course, I can turn on the hood. And of course, here, don't get on these curbs. Do not get on this curb or turn one. And I'll say that again because they will upset the car, and you won't gain any time. It's not worth it. Just cut them nice and close. And you can run on the curb on the outside. Don't go in the grass like I did with a Porsche. But you can go on the curb right like that. It's fine. Okay, and then this turn here, I take in second. And of course, I brake right past the 100. Say right there, between the 100 and the 50. Or you could say even right by this pole, right before the pole here. That's where I brake. I go down to second gear, especially with a Bentley, because it's got such great torque. And you can do a late apex on this, and you want to get on the gas, straighten it out, and get on the gas as soon as you can. Turn, and you can just run that out wide. Now here, as soon as you come off of this, you need to be shifting, because pretty much you'll be on the limiter. So pretty much if you run over this, as soon as you're coming off, you need to shift. Okay, come down here, and I brake right where this road is here on the side, and basically all the way through here over the mountain. You always want to turn in just a little early, because the car with the Bentley doesn't react as fast. So you just want to turn in a little bit early so you don't run wide. You don't want to late apex any of these corners. It'll end up getting you in trouble. That's when you'll hit the wall. So you start turning. See, that way you're running as close as you can to the curb. That could be a little closer, but it's fine. Run out wide, right out to the wall. Then here, you can see how close I am. You're going to run right on this line, or right next to the. You need to use all your real estate. So you're going to run wide, and then you're going to cut it in real close here to this wall here, right there. Now this is debatable, okay? If you can master staying out wide here and cutting in, it might get you another tenth or two over a lap. So I just don't like it, because it's kind of like all or nothing. If you run out wide here and you lock a brake up or something, you have no recourse. You're going to hit the wall. If you run out here and miss it, 80% chance you're going to hit the wall and mess up your car. Where if you go inside and turn in early and you mess up, you can run wide and still save it, and maybe just barely touch the wall or not even hit the wall. So, and of course, if somebody's behind you, if you're racing and somebody's behind you, if you run out wide here and then cut it in, it's just tempting for somebody to dive bomb you on the inside. Where if you're already down here, they're not going to do it. And I dare them to go outside on me, because it ain't going to happen. So, like I said, basically, to me, it's twofold. You're kind of guarding your position, and out here, it's a lot of risk. But if you can master it, you probably will be faster, but it's just a risk. So again, I try to stay a little bit inside. I don't run it so wide, and then I just use the wall as guidance and just run as close to the wall and open it up as soon as you can and run it wide, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Real close, run it wide, and see, I just straight run it wide as you can so you can get on the gas. And again, you want to turn in early. See, I'm already starting to turn already. I'm already turning the wheel. And even though I'm not up to the curve yet, because again, I don't want to be on this curve, but I don't want to run it wide. I do not want to late apex any of these. Right next to it. And then you run right out there. Again, this is a little run out over here. And again, I'm already turning in early already again. You don't want to hit this curb, but you also don't want to run wide, or you're definitely going to be in the wall. You can watch the gas over here. I get off the gas a little bit, but I'm right back on it. Not that bad. So you just right off and right back on it. Same thing with this. I'm already turning in already, and again, you do not want to get your tires out here in the gray stuff. You want to hug this, but not get on this curb. Again, this is pretty tight line through here, but again, you want to turn in early, just a little bit early, so you run in here. It's just all timing and just practice. Again, see I'm right next to the curb. I'm not on it. You can't touch it a little bit, but I'm not on it. But you don't want to be basically like your right side tires out here. You don't want to be there. And then, of course, you can hit that, barely touch it, but be careful. And, of course, when you're coming up to here, before this here, you want to be on the brakes. And, again, it's on the brakes, downshift, on the brakes, downshift. Don't just stay on the brakes. It's basically, it's too hard on the car and unsettles it too much. So, off the brake, back on the brake. And you want to get on this top of this curb so you can be far left as you can going down the hill. So you're on the curb here. I could be a little more over, but that's okay. But you want to be aiming more towards the left side here so you can get the angle coming in here, especially with the Bentley. See, because you're going to come in here and hold this tight over here, so now you can shoot left and hug this wall when you turn left, and you can be on the gas as soon as you can. See, right there. I'm turned in. I'm on the gas. I got a little aggressive here. Now here you just want to get on the brakes and off. You don't want to get on the brakes and stay on the brakes. You just want to get on the brakes and rotate the car, and that's it. I got on a little bit too hard, and the car got a little sideways, and then get back on the brakes and downshift. And here's practice. You want to hug this and feed. You can already see I'm on the gas. You can see right here I'm already on the gas. So let's go back over that. So I'm coming down. I got a little bit too aggressive there. I stay to the right. Then I come down, downshift to first. We'll see when I start getting on the gas. See, I'm already off the brake. I'm rolling through. I'm already feeding the gas, and there we go. I'm already full throttle before I'm all the way off. And then basically hug this tight. I short shift all the way down through here other than fifth because you're going downhill, so you have the momentum already anyway. And the Bentley, shoot, it's a torque monster, so. And, of course, I went past the 150. I'm inside the 150, so I'm between the 150 and the 100. I'm on the brakes, real hard on the brakes. Downshift to second. Again, do not get on this curb, on this one either. Do not touch this curb here. This one on the inside, if you do, you risk chance of really upsetting the car, so try to stay off of it. You can come close, just try not to hit it. If you're on the brakes and coming through here really hot, and you feel the back end kind of coming out a little bit, just get on the gas. Just power out. Don't panic and hit the brakes or whatever. Just get on the gas, and it'll power out of it. And roll through here. And, of course, right past the 100. Down to first. Now, I go down to first gear in this corner, second on turn 1. Again, do not hit this curb. And that's a lap. And that was a 202.99. Of course, I started with 80 liters, and there's 62 on it now, so that's a really good sign because obviously I've done a few laps. This is like my fifth or sixth lap. So that's a good sign because, this is actually my fast lap up to this point. So that, to me, is, showing that it's working well. and it'll probably still keep working well. You see how close I run it here? Again, you know, if you do this, you have a little bit of room for maneuvering. It's not the end of, you know, but it's still tight. You're still, you know, obviously Mount Panorama, you're still threading a needle. I don't see any sparks or anything like that. Anywhere you're hitting, unloading. Car is, for the time, it's super stable. Really good. That's one of the just awesome. It was one of the super positives for the Bentley is just how it could be that fast, but you're stable, and just works so well. $172, I think. Not the greatest on the speed part. I mean, that's okay. It's not bad, but I mean, the Huracan I think did 173 or 4, so it's down 1 or 2 miles an hour. But I guarantee this car is super consistent. That was a 202.91. So again, now that's my fastest lap, and of course that's where I stopped. But the car was solid as a rock. So let's go over the setup. Got 26.7 left front, 26.6 left rear, 26.2 right front, and 26.1 right rear. The toe is negative 0.08 with the camber at negative 3.4 and the caster at 12.1. And the toe on the rear is 0.05 with the camber at negative 2.7. Electronics are 2 and 4. And again, I would, you know, like if you were halfway through a stint or whatever, you might want to go up to 3 just to save on the rear tires. Had no, for like 6 laps or whatever, had no any kind of wear. Little bit more to the rear, but I did have a little bit more brake bias, and I turned it down actually turned it the other way the last couple laps to get the balance right. So I did faster laps with it turned this way. So 62 is probably as low as I would go. You might want to start at 63, and then that way you can go down to 62. But 62 works really well. Anti-roll bars 5, steering's all the way down. Springs on the front are 165,000 with a bump stop rate of 1,000 and a bump stop range of 10. And the springs on the rear are 160,000 with a bump stop rate of 700 and a bump stop range of 25. Anti-roll bars 3 and the preload on the diff is 50. Shocks on the front are 18, 14, 26, and 30. And on the rear they're 16, 13, 24, and 28. Aero, I got 55 in the front, 69 in the rear with a 6 rear wing and a 3 and a 2 and a brake ducts. And the front aero variation is a negative 4.4. So that is the setup. And of course, I will put a link to this setup in the description. And of course, I have a PayPal link in the description also. If you want to help support the channel, I'd really appreciate it. And thank you to everybody that has. And I hope this setup works good for you. And I hope those little track tips, I'm not saying that's the be-all, get-all, but that's just the way I do it, and hopefully that'll help you improve and be more consistent and do better in your league or racing or whichever you're undertaking. So I sure hope it helps, and I hope you come back and also give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I hope you come back and visit again real soon. Y'all take care. See ya.